If you want to be wealthy and happy, listen carefully, because most people spend their entire lives chasing money and still end up stressed, tired, and empty. They work harder every year, but somehow feel poorer every day. And the strange thing is, it's not because they're lazy, it's because nobody ever taught them the real rules of money. Rules that quietly decide who becomes wealthy and who stays stuck forever. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how some people seem calm about money? They're not panicking about bills. They're not worried about the future. They don't look exhausted by life. And yet, they have more money than most people. Meanwhile, millions of others wake up every morning, rush to work, worry about expenses, stress about the future, and still never feel financially safe. The difference isn't luck, it isn't talent, and it definitely isn't intelligence. The difference is how they think about money, because wealth and happiness follow the same hidden principles. And once you understand them, your entire life changes. The first truth most people never realize is this: money loves calm minds, not desperate ones. When someone is desperate for money, they make terrible decisions. They chase quick profits. They jump into risky investments. They follow every get-rich-fast promise they see online, and desperation always leads to loss. But wealthy people operate differently. They move slowly. They think long-term. They invest patiently. They don't chase money. They build systems that quietly produce money over time. Imagine planting a tree. You don't plant a seed and expect fruit tomorrow. You water it. You protect it. You give it time. And after years, it produces fruit again and again. Money works the same way. But most people don't want trees. They want instant fruit. And that impatience keeps them poor. Now here's something even more powerful. If you want to be wealthy and happy, you must stop trading your entire life for money. This is where most people make their biggest mistake. They sacrifice their health. They sacrifice their peace. They sacrifice their time with family, all for the promise of money. But by the time they finally earn it, they're too exhausted to enjoy it. Real wealth is not just money in your bank account. Real wealth is control over your time. It's waking up without panic. It's having the freedom to choose what you do each day. It's sleeping peacefully at night without worrying about tomorrow. And ironically, the people who understand this are the ones who actually become wealthy, because they stop chasing money directly. Instead, they focus on value. Think about the people who earn the most in the world. Entrepreneurs, investors, creators. They're not paid based on hours. They're paid based on impact. A worker might work 10 hours and earn $100, but a business owner might create one idea and earn millions. The difference is leverage. Wealthy people understand something early. If you only sell your time, your income will always be limited. But if you build something that works without you, your income becomes unlimited. That could be a business, an investment portfolio, a digital product, real estate, or any system that produces income repeatedly. And here's where the mindset shift happens. Poor thinking asks, how can I make money today? Wealth thinking asks, how can I build something that makes money for years? One question leads to survival. The other leads to freedom. But let's talk about happiness, because money alone doesn't guarantee it. You've probably seen people with expensive cars, luxury homes, perfect lifestyles on social media, and yet they look miserable. That's because happiness is not created by spending money. It's created by removing stress. And financial stress is one of the biggest stress factors in life. When money is constantly tight, every decision feels heavy. Groceries feel expensive. Bills feel overwhelming. Unexpected problems feel terrifying. But when your finances are stable, your mind becomes peaceful, and peace creates happiness. Not luxury, not status, peace. This is why building wealth slowly is actually the happiest path, because it removes fear from your life. Now let me share something most people never understand about rich people. Wealthy people are not obsessed with spending money. They're obsessed with keeping money. The average person increases their lifestyle every time they earn more. New phone, better car, bigger house, more expenses, and suddenly they're earning more than ever, but still feel broke. This is called the lifestyle trap, and it silently destroys financial freedom. But wealthy people often do the opposite. They increase their income without increasing their lifestyle much. They invest the difference year after year, and slowly their money begins to grow on its own. At first it feels small, maybe a few dollars, then a few hundred, then thousands, and eventually their investments start earning more than their job. That's when everything changes, because now money is working for them, not the other way around. And this is the moment true financial freedom begins. But here's another truth that many people don't want to hear. Becoming wealthy requires patience that most people don't have. We live in a world addicted to speed, instant food, instant entertainment, instant success stories. But real wealth moves slowly. A business takes years. Investments take time to compound. Skills take time to develop. And the people who become rich are simply the ones who stayed patient long enough. They didn't quit after 6 months. They didn't give up after one failure. They kept learning, kept improving, kept investing, while everyone else got distracted. And over time, the gap between them and everyone else became enormous. Now let's talk about one more powerful idea. Comparison is the fastest way to destroy both wealth and happiness. When you constantly compare your life to others, you feel poor even when you're not. Social media makes this even worse. You see someone buying a luxury car, someone traveling the world, someone making millions, but you don't see the debt, you don't see the stress, you don't see the years of struggle behind that moment. Wealth is not a race against other people. It's a journey toward your own freedom. The goal is not to impress strangers. The goal is to build a life where money no longer controls your decisions. Imagine waking up and choosing what you want to do, not what you have to do. Imagine helping your family without worrying about cost. Imagine taking time off without financial fear. That's wealth. And here's the beautiful part. You don't need to be a millionaire tomorrow to start moving toward that life. You only need to start making smarter decisions today. Spend a little less than you earn. Invest consistently. Learn valuable skills. Avoid debt traps. Think long term. Those simple habits look boring in the beginning, but over years, they create extraordinary results. And the people who master these habits often look ordinary on the outside. They're not flashy, they're not loud, but quietly, they're becoming unstoppable financially, because wealth loves discipline. It rewards consistency, and it grows best when nobody is watching. Now imagine your life 10 years from now. Two versions of you exist. One continues spending everything they earn, chasing comfort, avoiding learning, ignoring investing. 10 years later, nothing changes. The other version starts today, learns about money, builds assets, invests regularly, controls lifestyle, improves skills. 10 years later, their entire life is different. Not because of luck, because of choices. Small choices repeated every day. And that's the final secret of wealth and happiness. Your future is not created by one big decision. It's created by thousands of tiny ones. The money you save today, the book you read tonight, the skill you start learning, the investment you begin, the discipline you practice. Each one looks small, but together they shape your entire destiny. So if you truly want to be wealthy and happy, stop chasing shortcuts. Stop comparing your life. Stop believing success must happen quickly. Instead, focus on becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts wealth: calm, patient, disciplined, curious, long-term focused. Because money flows toward people who understand it, and happiness stays with people who don't depend on money for their worth. Start today. Start small, but start seriously, because 10 years from now, you will either thank yourself for beginning today or regret waiting. And the most powerful part is this: your future wealth, your peace of mind, your freedom is being built right now by the decisions you choose to make today. And here is something very few people talk about when it comes to wealth. Your environment quietly decides your financial future. Look around at the conversations happening around you. Some people spend hours talking about problems, complaining about the economy, blaming the government, blaming their job, blaming their luck, but complaining never built a single fortune. Wealthy thinkers ask a different question. Instead of asking, "Why is life unfair?" they ask, "What can I learn from this?" That small shift in thinking changes everything, because every problem in life carries a hidden opportunity. Economic crises create investors. Technology changes create entrepreneurs. Market problems create businesses. But only the people who stay calm enough to think clearly can see these opportunities. Everyone else is too busy panicking, and panic is expensive. People panic sell investments. They panic quit opportunities. They panic make emotional decisions with money. But calm thinkers quietly step in while everyone else is afraid. This is why some people become incredibly wealthy during difficult times. They understand that fear creates discounts. When the world is scared, opportunities become cheap. Now let's talk about another silent wealth killer: ego. Ego is the voice that says, "I already know enough. I'm smarter than everyone. I don't need advice." And ego keeps people poor, because wealth is built through learning. The richest investors in the world still read books. They still study markets. They still learn from mistakes. But the average person stops learning the moment school ends, and the world keeps changing while their knowledge stays frozen. Money rewards adaptability. If you learn faster than others, you earn faster than others. That's the rule. Your income is closely connected to the value of your knowledge and skills. If you learn high-value skills, communication, investing, business thinking, problem solving, your opportunities multiply, and opportunities create income. But if your skills stay average, your income usually stays average too. This is why self-education is one of the greatest financial investments you can ever make. A single idea from a book can change your entire life. A single skill can double your income. A single investment lesson can save you years of mistakes. But most people never discover these lessons because they're too busy being entertained. They scroll, they watch, they distract themselves. Meanwhile, someone else is learning the skills that will change their future. and slowly the gap grows wider. Now here's another truth about becoming wealthy and happy. You must learn to delay pleasure. This might be the hardest discipline of all, because our world constantly tells us to enjoy everything immediately. Buy now, upgrade now, reward yourself now. But the people who become wealthy are comfortable waiting. They delay luxury today so they can have freedom tomorrow. They invest money that others would spend. They build assets while others collect liabilities. And over time, that patience multiplies. Let me give you a simple example. Two people earn the same salary. One spends almost everything. The other invests just 20% every month. At first, their lives look similar. Same income, same lifestyle. But after 10 years, their realities are completely different. The spender still depends on every paycheck. The investor now has assets generating income. And after 20 years, the difference becomes enormous. One person must work. The other has the option not to. And that option is priceless, because freedom is the ultimate form of wealth. But there is something else that determines long-term success: your relationship with failure. Most people are terrified of failing. They avoid risk. They avoid trying new things. They avoid stepping outside their comfort zone. But the truth is, every wealthy person you admire has failed many times. Businesses collapse. Investments lose money. Ideas don't work. But failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is the training ground for success. Each mistake teaches a lesson. Each lesson improves your judgment. Each improvement increases your chances of winning next time. The only people who never fail are the ones who never try. And unfortunately, they also never succeed. So if you want wealth, you must become comfortable with intelligent risk, not reckless risk, not gambling, but thoughtful experimentation, trying new ideas, learning from results, adjusting and improving. This is how progress happens. Now let's talk about something deeper: gratitude. It may not sound like a financial strategy, but it actually is. People who constantly feel dissatisfied often overspend. They try to fill emotional gaps with material things: new clothes, new gadgets, new status symbols. But the feeling never lasts, because happiness doesn't come from accumulating more things. It comes from appreciating what you already have. And when you learn gratitude, something interesting happens. Your desire to spend impulsively decreases. Your focus shifts toward building instead of consuming. And that mindset quietly strengthens your financial future. Now imagine a life where money is no longer your biggest worry. You're not stressed about bills. You're not afraid of emergencies. You're not trapped in work you hate. That life is possible, not overnight, not magically, but step by step, decision by decision, habit by habit. Every wealthy person you see today started somewhere small. They didn't begin with millions. They began with a decision to think differently about money, a decision to stop living only for today, a decision to build a better future. And once that decision was made, everything slowly began to change. Your path can begin the exact same way. Not tomorrow, not next year, but today. Maybe today you decide to track your spending. Maybe today you read your first book about investing. Maybe today you start saving a small percentage of your income. Maybe today you begin learning a skill that increases your value. Small beginnings, but powerful ones, because the most important moment in building wealth is not when you make your first million. It's the moment you change the way you think. That's the real turning point. Once your mindset shifts, your actions follow, your habits improve, your decisions become smarter, and over time, your financial life transforms. And one day, years from now, you may look back at this moment and realize something incredible. You didn't become wealthy because of luck. You didn't become happy because life became easier. You became wealthy and happy because you chose discipline over comfort. You chose patience over shortcuts. You chose growth over excuses. And those choices quietly built the life you once dreamed about. So if you truly want to be wealthy and happy, start building the future version of yourself today. Protect your time. Grow your knowledge. Invest your money. Strengthen your discipline. And never forget this simple truth. Wealth is not just about having more money. It's about having more freedom, more peace, and more control over your life. And that journey begins with one simple decision, the decision to start